Okay, so this is the Module 4 assignment, and the first PowerPoint talks about what is a selected response assessment. Students using questions and items that are multiple choice, matching, and true and false. These select response items, students are able to choose a response provided by the teacher or test developer rather than construct one in their own words or by their own actions. Also, this type of select response is easier to administer to large numbers of students, and at the same time, it's inexpensive to score. My next slide answers the question of how did the assessment align with the guidelines and suggestions that were discussed about the select response document assessments. This question was a little difficult, but I felt like the assessments aligned with the guidelines and suggestions because it, number one, asked a complete question to get the item started, which was multiple choice, and it didn't repeat the same words within each response option. And there was also only one best or correct answer to choose from. And the response item itself was brief and it had very few grammatical errors. Next, I have an example of the select response critique. Well, the select response items that is also a critique from Module 3 quiz. One of the questions were teaching and assessing are two different things. Which of the following is the best of why this assertion is carefully considered faulty? Is considered faulty because this question was a little hard to understand because it required to look for examples that were not true and uses the process of elimination strategy. Words were also used more than once in each of the answers, which took focus off of finding the main concept that made the statement faulty. However, this question was good for an assessment because it required not only the prerequisite knowledge of the content, but it also required reasoning and analytical skills to best answer the question. My next slide talks about the assessment items that align with learning targets in the syllabus. Okay, so the first point states that determine the assessment purpose, which is you diagnose the instructional needs, teachers offer feedback to students, self-assess, and teachers use different measurements to different levels to measure achievement. They also specify the intended learning target. For example, teachers help students develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Selecting the appropriate assessment method also requires knowledge targets, reasoning targets, performance targets, skills, and product targets. This assessment also aligns with the learning targets in the syllabus because it determines the appropriate sample size and it states how problems will be assigned to each learning target. Okay, my next slide, it states, are learning targets measured with a variety of target types? For the assessment, each target type was measured through number one, knowledge, which are concepts that we want to know. Number two, reasoning. We use the knowledge to solve a problem and make a decision. For example, written response items. There are two of them, short answer and extended response. Number three, skills, which are our demonstrations, oral presentations, oral communication, diagrams, charts, projects. And number four, which are products, applying reasoning, applying our knowledge and skills to what we know to produce the final product. For this next slide, we have 3 items that you would change, explain why, and what these changes require a different type of selected response. 3 items that I chose were true or false, matching, fill in the blank. I chose these because these items can be trivial or misleading if not written carefully. Process of elimination can score if not written carefully, and these items also take longer to score. And that is all. Thank you for listening.